Hi guys. So I apologize for the background noise. My wife, knowing that I was waiting for her to leave before I started filming in the middle of the living room, decided to run the dishwasher. So that was very nice of her to do that for me. To not have background noise, and if I stop it, it beeps at me. So we'll just have to carry on here, right? Okay, so fast forward mute, 4K not detected, no Atmos for Netflix on the TV app, and lip sync when you connect the DirecTV directly or to the TV and the TV to the ARC. So let's go over some things, okay? So I've had this for a while now, several weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, right? Actually, I don't even know if I've had that long. It might still be within 30 days. I don't even know. It hasn't been that long, right? So I want to go over the pluses and minuses of this system. Is it something that you're going to be interested in or not? Try to be as honest as I possibly can. To go over what I did in the first video, this was a product that I purchased for myself. I had a specific goal in mind, and I want to make sure that we understand that for most people who have a living room or family room environment or media room or whatever it is you have, if you have room for actual floor standing speakers, like off of an AVR or something, you buy separate components, a center channel component, subwoofer components, tower speakers, surround speakers, Atmos speakers. You can get those. Let me put it this way. For the cost of this soundbar, you can buy everything that you need and it would sound better than this. But for people like myself who have a screwed up situation where I cannot put floor speakers because it blocks the pathway, I can't shove them in behind the TV because of this oak box. It funnels the sound in weird angles and makes it sound like ass. So, do I recommend this specific one? And that's a good question because I don't have anything really to compare it to. When I bought this TV, this is the 65-inch LG OLED C7P. I got it last year from Best Buy, and they had a package deal that if you buy this one, you get a soundbar, and the soundbar is the LG SJ8. And it's not even an Atmos soundbar. It's a 4.1 or 4.2 or something like that soundbar. It had a wireless sub. I guess that makes it 4.1. It had a wireless sub, and it's a nice sounding soundbar. I can't complain about that at all. In fact, I think that the dialogue sounds better on that one than it does on this one. But it doesn't have any way of adding surround sound speakers, and it has really bad lip sync issues because the only way to attach, it only has one HDMI in and out port. So you have to go from the TV down to the soundbar, and then all your components go to the TV. So the TV has to pass through the sound to the soundbar, and there's a lip sync problem, big lip sync problem with those soundbars. So with all that going on, I was like, okay, I'm gonna not use it. So instead I use optical, and I use it on my computer. So my computer actually uses that old soundbar. So I don't have any other ones to compare it to. I would like to compare it to the LG, what is it, the Sky 10 or SKJ10, something like that. It's one where you can add speakers. I would love to compare it with that one. But the Atmos on that one is a direct upfire, which means it would hit on the bottom of the shelf. All these Atmos soundbars, they look promising, but when you get up to those ones that are like $800, $900, you start getting really close to the sound or to the quality of it. Not quality, but the price of this one. But what they have that this soundbar does not have is they have internet access. They have either Wi-Fi or a network cable connector on the back. That allows you to use an app on your phone to control your soundbar, and that is amazing. You can stream to it. They have things like Chromecast built in. You can download firmware directly to it. Spotify, all that stuff is just look on your phone. You're playing Spotify. You have Cast 2 device. You choose your soundbar, boom, you're done. It's playing. You don't have to go through anything. This has Bluetooth connection, yes, but which is your route? Bluetooth versus a Wi-Fi connection or a network connection. If you have a a switch or a router or something behind here, that way is way better, right? So yeah, that's Bluetooth, but no, I want to be able to, I don't want to have to connect to it Bluetooth to be able to do that. Who has time for that? I want to literally be listen to a song and go, oh, you know what? I could just broadcast this right over. Hit a button, select it, done, and it's over. And I don't understand why they haven't gone that route. I don't get it. Okay. So if you can afford and you have room for an audio video receiver with Atmos support, floor standing speakers, subwoofers, and surround sound with maybe some Dolby Atmos upfiring add-on speakers. Pioneer makes them, by the way, a couple of other places. You can get all that for less money than buying this kit, and it would sound substantially better. But on the positives, this one fits in the footprint that I need. It clears with the speakers coming out. It fills the room completely. It actually sounds really good. If you see part one of my video, you see I did a couple of Dolby Atmos tests. The dialogue is starting to sound better to me as I get used to it. And so I'm not really complaining about that. And when I watch an Atmos movie, like last night, I watched Aquaman with my daughter. And I didn't, at no point did I say, oh, that sounds too thin or that doesn't sound wide enough. It sounded perfectly fine. And I've used it through my Plex app on the Xbox. So, but we're going to get into some of these issues with the TV communicating with the sound bar and why that's an issue that they need to work on. So we're going to go through these, okay? Fast forward mute. I'm going to splice in right here some examples of this happening. So, if you're watching a show, I'm going to unmute it here. Hang on.
My name's Dustin. Hey, Dustin. Hey. Grab a seat. Nice to meet you. Have
All
you
right.
ever had car trouble in a place like this?
So now we have sound.
Yeah.
And then let's see if I can duplicate it. So I'm fast forwarding because I want to get past this commercial, let's say. And then it gets eventually we're going to get to a TV. And I'm doing this live, so I don't know if this is going to happen or not. Okay, oh, I'm already on it. Play.
Remember our 7 astronauts.
So that worked.
Our Challenger 7.
Okay.
Remember them as they
I
lived.
wonder if I have to go faster or slower or something. Let's see. It's 4. It's 4 speed. Let's see here. Okay, hit play there. Well, I don't know. It's working.
For a few seconds, we were all just...
What she was saying is that when she does that, the sound was cutting out and we couldn't get the sound back again. So, yeah, I don't know. It's working though. So it must just be like some kind of fluke or something, huh? Pause.
For a
Play.
few seconds,
Rewind. Play.
Wireless, figured out.
Yeah, I don't know, it's working. I'm gonna have to ask her to try to demonstrate it because everything I've tried so far is working. Oh, there it goes. Now it's not working. Yeah, okay, there you go. So we proved the point. So we went through all that and then it stops. So then what I have to do is I have to like go to something else. Like I have to, I don't know if mute, unmute would work. Let's see. Mute, unmute. Nope. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how I'm trying to find a cheat here, right? DSP off. Pure direct. Dolby up mix is what it says. Stereo. Pure direct. How about volume? Volume up. Volume down. Nope. are some ways of trying to get out of this? Okay, well, the only way I ever figured it out was to like, I went to ARC. Which goes to the TV, like, you know, the TV button, you know, Netflix and all that. And then back to HDMI 3, which is the DirecTV. There we go. Now we have some.
This was different. The first civilian to fly. She was going to teach lessons in space outside
Dolby
the very first shuttle launch. I'm not sure there was
digital
in the shuttle program that rose to that level of excitement and anticipation.
So yeah, so see if we can recreate it here. So fast forward. Play. Working. Rewind. Stop right there.
With that, I went to bed.
That's working. Let's go all the way to the, I don't know, that it's set in 1, 2, 3, 4 and like 4 1/4 little tabs at the bottom. Stop right there. Sound came back. Okay. Okay, sound gone again. So again, the only way I can figure out how to get out of it is, like I said, go to a different input. So I'll go to HDMI 2, which is the Xbox. Give it a chance to like switch over. It'll say like there's no signal because the Xbox is turned off. And then I'll go back to HDMI 3. And now it's working. Although it does still have that long delay before it starts, but at least it comes up again. So that is definitely the problem. That's the only problem I've found so far, going directly via HDMI to the thing. And again, if I go HDMI to the TV and then back to the soundbar via ARC, then I get really bad lip sync issues. I reached out to Nakamichi and I said, hey, this happens. And they sent me to AT&T's website where people were complaining that they were not getting sound when they fast forward. And then the article that AT&T said was, well, you're probably using your internal TV speakers and you can't use Dolby Digital, Dolby, all that stuff. You have to select like PCM or something like that to do that. And that will solve the problem. Or you can buy a high quality soundbar or audio video receiver. So it seems that Nakamichi didn't quite understand what I was saying, because they're directing me to an article that says the problem exists if you have a piece of crap soundbar or audio, or you don't have an audio video receiver, which directly conflicts with the whole thing here. So what they don't understand is, no, it isn't DirecTV's fault, because up until I bought this, I had my Yamaha AVR down here, and I was using my custom soundbar that I made, my passive one. This system that I had 0 issues with functioning. My only issue is with the sound quality of filling up the room with sound, because I was just kind of hokey in, I wasn't doing a very good job building the soundbar, and so the speakers were basically good only if you sat directly in front. So if you're sitting where the camera is right now, it was great. If you're sitting in the kitchen or in my recliner chair here, or even over on this side, it was kind of muddy and not quite right. And anyone who builds speakers will tell you, you cannot just take bookshelf speakers and turn them on their sides. It changes the way that the sound waves operate, and it doesn't sound as good. And that's essentially what I did. Was I took bookshelf speakers. I turned them on the side. I measured the internal volume of that speaker, duplicated it exactly with the correct bracing and polyfill and sealant and crossover. Everything was exactly the same. And I wasn't happy with it. But if I take those bookshelf speakers separately and just like set them on a, milk crate here and there, it would sound great. So it's definitely the way that I had everything oriented that was a problem, which prompted me to give up and kind of go to something like this. So when you have a system like that and everything works flawlessly, you can't say that, oh, all of a sudden your DirecTV box is at fault, or your Xbox is at fault, or the TV is at fault. If it works fine with someone else's product, but not with yours, if they're doing something right, you're doing something wrong. Okay. So the fast forward mute issue. Yeah, if you're fast forwarding with your DirecTV, the mute will cut out. The only way to get that back is by going to different HDMI inputs. Like you go to HDMI 1, then back to 2, and it will unlock, or in my case, back to 3. And you'll get sound again. Okay. 4K not detected, right. So if you connect the DirecTV directly to the soundbar, and then from the soundbar arc up to the TV, it doesn't see 4K. It says your TV does not support 4K. And that is if you go to a 4K DirecTV station. Like I have 104, 105, 106, something like that. And some of them are pay-per-view 4K, but some of them are just like broadcast sport, like a sport event or a parade. Like I think they have the Rose Parade and stuff in 4K. So things like that. It says your TV can't support it. So then you have to go into the settings of your DirecTV box. You go to video, you go to resolutions, manually select the 4K, it turns it back on. You're fine, go back to your station, watch it in 4K. But if you turn the TV off, or if you switch it back to your Xbox input, then back to TV, it doesn't see it again. You have to repeat that process. So that's a bug in negotiating between the DirecTV box and the Nakamichi soundbar. It doesn't see that it's 4K compatible or whatever, and I don't understand why. But again, previous system, no issues. So, and plus even my little SJ8 soundbar never had this issue. So it's definitely them, not DirecTV. Hit menu, and we're gonna go down to settings, which is right down here. So we're just gonna, I'm hitting page down here. It takes a while to get down there now. I hate their new menu. They're trying to be clever. Okay, now over here you see you have info and test, parental controls, etc. So you're going to use the side arrows, and you're going to go over to display, hit display, or press enter, and then you see over here you have TV resolutions. So the 4K is going to be unchecked. Mine's checked because I just went through this process. It's going to be unchecked. So you got to go over to that side by using the side arrow, and then down to the 4K, and then press it, and then it'll come up and it'll say, if you see this message, it works, press info. And so you press info to confirm, and you're good to go again. So now I have 4K, and I have there's no sync issues. Now I'm leaving the sound off because I don't want any strikes for the sound. Because again, if your problem is, oh well, it says my TV's not 4K, it's because your TV needs to reset that part. You need to go in and find it on your satellite dish. It's not the TV, it's the satellite. It's DirecTV or DishNet or maybe your cable box if you're having that problem. You got to go in and manually select 4K again, have it try to do a test with it and see, because like if I went back right now to like 104, 104, I'm sorry, my finger got in the way of the button here. It's gonna work. Right? Crossing fingers. Yep. Oh no, see it didn't. So you gotta do it each time? That's no good. You gotta do it each time? So that is the issue then. You have to, yeah, because he was saying there's like issues if you don't go to the TV first, but like which issue do I want to worry about more? Do I want to see it unselects it? And then it says, if you can see this, it does. So hit info. Now it works. And now you can hit exit. And now you got your 4K. And that's definitely 4K. That's not 1080p. 4K. Okay, so Netflix, no Atmos. Okay, so you'll see a video in a second. I'll show you. I'll splice it in here. Where if you go onto the TV, because this TV, the C7P, has Atmos built in. It has its own internal speakers that mimic Atmos, or it has an Atmos decoder, but it obviously, unless you have the TV like sit on a TV stand or something, it can't even see the ceiling at my house. So if I selected the Atmos on the TV itself and switched to internal speaker, so all the audio is TV only, the Web OS Netflix app that's on the LG system sees Netflix, or Netflix sees that it's compatible with Atmos. And at the top of a program, if it supports Atmos, it'll say like Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos. So you can, as you can see here, I have Netflix on the screen. And if you look at the pink arrow right there, because I changed, okay. You see, come on, arrow. Right there, it says Atmos, Vision and Atmos for this Netflix film called Triple Frontier. Now, the thing is, I'm using the Netflix app that's actually on my TV. You see, I'm using the Netflix app. And you can see there that it said Atmos. Now, the reason it does that is because I went into the settings, and my TV is the LG 65 OLED C7P, and it actually has Atmos support built into it. Now, it's not a good Atmos, obviously, because it's got up-firing speakers that are behind the TV, and of course I can't use them in this cabinet, but it does have Atmos decoding. So as you can see here, I've turned the speaker to internal speaker, and then Atmos. You see, if I go here to settings again, and I go to sound, and I turn Atmos off, and I do this, you can see it stays there, and it's because it hasn't it loaded up with, see there, it's gone now. You see it disappeared. So now the Netflix app has said, oh, you don't have Atmos, right? All I had to do is just change that simple setting. So if I go back, oh, I gotta mute it. Thank you. I go back. I go to sound, I turn Atmos on. Dang it, it keeps on muting. I need it muted, thank you. I go back to this Triple Frontier, boom, Atmos is back again, right there, you see? So that right there shows you that if the Netflix app on the TV can detect the Atmos decoding within the receiver, then it adds it on there. Okay, great. So go back, settings, sound. I'm gonna go down here to the speaker, and this time we're gonna do audio out, optical, HDMI ARC. Okay, and we have here digital sound auto, PCM auto. Down here we have the link thing. Actually, I think I want that on. Okay, now we're gonna go back, and then we're gonna go over here, and we're gonna go back, and we're gonna go back to Triple Frontier, and it just says 5.1. See, Atmos disappeared. And that is because the Nakamichi does not support the Atmos coming from the Netflix app. Like the Netflix app cannot detect that there's an Atmos receiver. Now my Yamaha did not have this problem. It was set up the exact same way, where the TV was running down to the Yamaha via ARC. It had absolutely no problem at all whatsoever communicating with my AVR receiver and seeing that it had Atmos and putting the Atmos there. I thought I was seeing things. I thought my memory was playing tricks on me, but No, it was actually a communication issue between the TV, or actually the built-in WebOS Netflix app and that thing. So now if we go back, it's just for the sake of being thorough here, let's go back to the sound. We will engage the sound out, and where it said auto, we're going to put PCM, and then we'll go back and back. We're going to go over here. We'll go back, go to triple frontier, and now it doesn't even say 5.1, right? Ant-Man versus Wasp, it just says HD. Go back to the triple frontier, it just says Vision. There's not even a 5.1 or anything. We go back to the settings again, all settings, sound, sound out. Where it says PCM, we're going to go to auto. Back here, back here. We want, or go back. Now it says 5.1. And then again, just to show you, see that it works, going back to TV speaker. Sound. Dang it, the thing came unmuted again. Okay, sound. Output. Damn it, come on, why is it okay, internal TV speaker. Oops, internal TV speaker. Why is it going, hold on. It's giving me a problem here.
Can she come and play with us? No, she can't come. And does she not like to play?
No, it's just that well, look, she's working.
Oh, I see.
Mute. Atmos is engaged. Down here. Boom. Atmos is back. I keep moving the phone. I apologize. Atmos is back again. You see? So the TV was able to send whatever qualification to the Netflix app that's built into the TV that says Atmos, but the Nakamichi is unable to do that. So, yeah. Xbox Netflix app is able to do that, no problem. Alternative here, okay? So, we'll go to settings. We'll go to sound. We're going to go down here to type of speaker. Here, why don't I just turn the volume down? That way, no matter what, it's not going to be loud. Okay, so we got that going, auto, boom, boom, back to this. You see now it's just back to, oh wait, go back to this one. You can see it just says 5.1 again. It doesn't say Atmos. Okay, so now we're just going to hit this, and then we got to do arc, and then we're going to turn on the Xbox because it's turned off presently. It's going really slow because it's booting up. So, okay, Netflix. Okay, we'll go down to that same video, which is that triple frontier, and I can't use the wand, but you can see that it says Atmos. So the Netflix app on the Xbox works just fine. It is just the Netflix app within the LG TV through the ARC is not able to communicate with the Nakamichi soundbar and tell it that it supports Atmos. So is that a firmware issue? Is that a hardware issue? Whatever issue it is, it's just a frustrating issue. So that means that the the Netflix app within the WebOS of the TV does a communication with some kind of a receiver and says, yes, it supports Atmos, and turns that on and allows that broadcasting to send Atmos, right? So if you instead tell the TV to output audio versus via ARC, which would come down to here, it does not see Atmos at all. Dolby, yeah, it's on Atmos. Okay, so that is going through the app on the TV. So now, if we go to the Xbox, and that's another issue, FYI. And that's another issue, is that the long delays, which I need to add on here. Long delay when starting new media sound. Change channels is a good example. You change channels, you're watching the sound happen. You're watching somebody talk, and it takes like 5 seconds or so before the sound actually comes on. And I think a delay is ridiculous, but okay. So we'll go down to Aquaman again. Okay. And then we're going to hit this button here that's like an info button that will tell us what kind of sound. Dolby Atmos. Do you see that? And this is the crap I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm saying. It does not negotiate sound between the TV and the Nakamichi, so it does not say you can do Atmos. But I just showed you exactly this. I played Aquaman on the TV Plex app, no Atmos. I did it on the app for the Xbox, Atmos. So it's able to communicate just fine because the Xbox goes to it directly. But even if the TV goes to it directly, which it does via ARC, there's nothing. So whatever the situation there is, it's not working. And again, when I had my Yamaha, the same exact cable, all I did was unplug the cable from the back of the Yamaha, fished it up through the hole, and plugged it into the back of here. Same ARC cable, right? Same HDMI. I think it's one of those rocket fish from Best Buy, the 4K ultra high bandwidth, whatever it was. I think I paid $30 for it. So same cable. Yamaha says, yes, happily, Atmos, let's do it. We're good. Atmos, absolutely 100%. I have my family trained to pick up the LG remote. It's got a dedicated Netflix button and a dedicated Amazon Prime button. You press the Netflix button, it loads up Netflix. They pick the name of their account. They go into it. They find the program that they left off and they play. Fine if they're just watching like, Phineas and Ferb or something. But if they want to watch something with Atmos, they're never going to have it. It's like you have to say, oh, I want the Atmos experience. So you have to go through the Xbox. This is unacceptable to me. They need to fix it. They need to fix that negotiation between the TV and the soundbar and say, yes, we can support Atmos. Give it to me. All right, lip sync when TV connects. Okay, so again, a whole bunch of examples are about to come through to you. According to the manuals that when I printed out, this is the updated one for the 2019, and this guide as well. They want you to go from your satellite box, be it DishNet, DirecTV, whatever, go from there to the TV, and then TV down to soundbar. And that's what I have actually right now, I believe. Let me just make sure. Yes, that is actually how I have it right now because I was testing it. And the lip sync gets off quite a bit. And again, you're about to see a bunch of examples. If I go from the DirecTV box directly to here, I don't have any lip sync issues at all. In the manual, it says the button number 24 is lip sync adjust, but lip sync adjust only works with optical and coaxial, not HDMI ARC. So you can't, even though if you are HDMI ARC and you push that button, the sound will stop for a second as if it was recalculating and adjusting. So I wonder if they've actually added it but not noted it in the manual. They need to update it if so. But no matter what I did from 10 millisecond in increments up to 200, I was never able to get the lip sync correct. this huge delay before the sound comes on.
As his VP on the ticket, that's when and if he decides.
Yes, and the sound is way off. So let's see if we can work this out. Where are we at here? 100? Oh.
Familiarity. So he's trying to do something that, frankly, we haven't seen before. So kudos for that. Stacey Abrams, I'm hailing you from Atlanta, Georgia. She's been very effective here, reaching across the aisle and getting things done in a bipartisan manner. So I can respect that. I'm anxious to see what they've got.
And that is a flaw of that cycle.
Who's talking?
So I just want you to know, I'm just taking orders from my bosses in New York, and they're saying this is a 2-point question. It's the third question.
She doesn't look bad, guys. I don't know.
Banned plastic straws last year. Now San Francisco wants to become the first city in America to ban which other product?
Oh gosh, if I get this wrong, that means I'm -2, right?
That's indeed true.
Okay. Plastic bags.
Is it plastic bags?
San Francisco, they're looking to ban e-cigarettes.
No.
Officials don't want them in the city at all. It's an effort to curb the use of tobacco products among teens and young.
Yeah, this is what they want to do, and they want to do it up and down the line. I mean, if you can gut the Second Amendment, why not get rid of the Electoral College? Why not change what the Senate is? They're salivating over this. They love the fact that things can happen so quickly.